Hey guys, welcome back to Monty's in-home consultation part 3. Now, one of the interesting things that we haven't yet mentioned, and by the way, if you haven't seen part 1 or part 2, I will leave links in the description, so you might want to go back and catch up. But one of the things we never talked about is flight with Monty. Now, we were told that he has never flown before, and one of the things that Z described to me was so unique that I wasn't even sure if I was understanding her correctly, and I was like, can you just show me what you mean? So I'm gonna show you what Monty does when he feels a little bit of wind under his wings, and I want you guys to tell me if you have ever seen a bird do this before. So leave it in the comments, pay close attention to his body position and everything. I had never seen this before. Oh, there we go. He does go down.
It's like what Sonny's been trying to do, kind of.
But look how down
quite,
it
yeah.
is. That's weird. That's weird. Have you seen that before?
No.
At first I thought he was humping me.
Yeah, try pushing it a little bit more. Nothing will make him posture up, huh? Posture up, dude. That is so odd. So I'm really interested to read the comments on this video and see how many of you relate to Monty's body language when Z is walking forward with him and he's feeling that wind. I've never seen a bird practically hunker down and kind of backpedal with their wings. So it was almost like he was trying to keep from going forward, and it was totally at a loss for me.
In slow motion, you could actually play it back, and I thought, well, it kind of looks like he's going in reverse. So I played the video in reverse, and it looks like he's flying forward. So it's just the weirdest thing. I've never seen it before, but I don't know. He's got some wires crossed.
So the interesting thing was I asked Z then to do the same thing that she was doing for walking forwards, but walk backwards, and he was entirely content.
I think it's because he didn't think he was gonna fly.
Exactly. He didn't feel like he was having to go anywhere. So anyways, just kind of a crazy little side note that we made on Monty. She did ask if he would ever fly, and honestly, we don't know. I mean, we can give her some steps to try to encourage him to want to, but unless the bird wants to, you can't want it for them. I mean, you can, but you can't get them there without it. You know what I mean? So this is our final session of the day with Monty, and again, we pick up where we had left off from session 2. So the goal is to get Monty to not be aggressive to Josh and to just be calm with Z in the same environment, in the presence, basically. So check it out. All right, so we all kind of blew it. We did not expect this from Monty, but he actually did a repetition where he did not talk, which was such a big deal because that was showing such a lack of aggression to Josh that we all just kind of freaked out inside and blew the whole energy of the room.
He didn't talk.
Once the entire energy of the room changed, so did Monty, and it was really difficult to bring that back down. You can see this in one of our YouTube videos with AJ and Sven and one of the in-home visits that we did in Australia. And one of his big things is I said, hey, I want you to just picture the moment where you're calmest. And I found out he's a scuba diver. Well, the great thing about thinking about scuba diving is when you're scuba diving, how many times did I just say scuba diving? When you're underwater, you can't be breathing really fast and hyper and have a long, enjoyable dive because you consume too much air too fast. So what we did is we put a little sticky note on his cage that said, we want you to just think about scuba diving and now take your bird out. And that really made a difference in his sessions. So we had to kind of go back to that same type of thing here and lower the entire energy of the room.
And if you guys are looking for that video, it's not actually on YouTube. It's a Patreon exclusive.
Oh, well, it may be hosted on YouTube. The big observation from the beginning was just be aware of your energy when you're training. Because he seems super sensitive to it. It's just like, I think that was partly why we got the hello the second rep.
Yeah, we all got super stoked he didn't do it the first time.
But there was like also an anticipation we all had.
Yeah.
There was like, our energy kept shifting, and you know, not all birds are going to be that in tune to it, but the ones that are, like Bondi, will do tricks for us off of us thinking like, hey, rock out. Oh look, you know, so it's like some subtle cues we're giving her that she's picking up on, even if we're not moving our hand or giving a vocal cue. She's feeling the intention, however that is. I feel like I see the same thing with him.
Okay.
Yeah, don't be afraid to allow failure. Try to follow the failure up with another opportunity to earn a treat. After that failure is definitely time to sink in.
Okay.
But always follow it up. So he's not, that's the problem with like, oh, you wanted this, you screamed, I'm leaving. Well, it's like, well then how do I get you back? If we don't tell them like, but this is okay, click, here's a treat. Then it's like, you know, Jamie always equates it to a kid, like, you can't do that, no, you can't do that, you can't do that. And finally, like, I remember being like, well, what can I do, right? And that's, we don't want the birds to feel like that.
Okay.
Just take, for both of you guys, just take a sec real quick and like, just reset extra giggling and laugh and just chill real quick. And then when you're ready, go ahead.
He didn't talk.
Wait 2 seconds before you step forward. Yeah, good call. We did a lot more of the training that we had already done, but we just didn't progress as much this third session. And we kind of talked about it beforehand and thought, well guys, we may not get it, but we're gonna give it a shot. Here's why we're going to go through these things. But really because we'd had so much success and we weren't set up to fail, but odds weren't really in our favor to have a massive success because there was a lot less motivation for Monte as the day progressed.
Yeah,
So as I was thinking that the second rep was so good, I didn't think we'd get quite the same for the third. But it also makes a different dynamic to start to play with.
Yeah.
Really reaffirms 2 short sessions.
So depending on the bird, some birds you can work with multiple times a day, depending on what you're working on. But other birds, you're a little bit more limited. And I'll say our experience with military macaws, we've always been a little bit more limited on how many sessions we can get in a day.
Yeah, a lot of it depends on the size of the bird, the motivation behind the bird, but sometimes even just the time of day for the parrot. We have several free flight students right now whose bird does really well at 9 a.m. but does terrible at 3 p.m. And so those are all things to take into consideration. If you're hitting these roadblocks, consider changing the time of day that you train your bird the most.
However, we don't want to, say anything bad about the success that we did make. We still made progress, and just keep in mind of where we started. We started with Z not being able to even be seen in this room, so.
Yeah, and more importantly, it showed them what was possible and what steps they needed to take to continue progressing that relationship with Monte. And the neat thing is, because of their dog training background, they have the tools in place to be able to continue to move forward. If you don't have a dog training background, soft, subtle plug here, check out the family-friendly parrot formula, because that will give you the same tools that these guys have in their back pocket to be able to progress forward without us.
All right, so you want to take one more step forward? Okay, take a step back, all the way out of view. And Josh, you're good there. Okay, one more step forward. You take it.
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna wait.
That talking is a precursor to aggression. So again, I don't know how you guys feel about these little behind the scene chats that you get to see us have when we're giving the birds breaks, but I thought it would be cool to just include some tidbits that I thought we hadn't really shined light upon in past videos.
I didn't realize the camera was still rolling
What do you mean?
when we have the behind the scenes chats.
Oh, it's always
Yeah.
rolling.
Well, there you go. I guess you get to find out whatever we're talking about. Yeah, and to that note, if you guys want to see more of those behind the scenes chats, leave it in the comments.
Yeah, I'd
so
like
we
to
have an
know.
idea if you want to see, yes, more behind the scenes, or no, we'd rather not hear you ramble. Yeah, I think that's all we got. I think when you're doing this without us here, a really good tip that not enough people do is videotape. Just set up a camera. The good news is it keeps you to 3 to 5 minutes, because nobody wants to sit back and watch a 15-minute session and critique it. So when you go back and watch it, that'll be like, oh crap, we went too long. Set a timer next time. That'll keep you guys good there, but then you can look at it and say, oh, okay, if this happens, you do this, I'll do this. And I think it'll be really good for you guys.
threshold, keep it shorter, kind of thing.
Yeah, like again, to add to what Jamie's saying, this is longer than I would have normally pushed.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
And it was probably one more rep than I would do in a
One more
daily
session.
thing. Or one more session, sorry, yeah.
Yeah. I'd say one more session. We kind of pushed for this last session, but
Just make sure you're clicking while he's still calm.
Yeah.
yeah.
Because he changes so fast
He does.
that it's...
Do you guys feel like you understand where to go from here? Okay.
Yeah, my big one was I just didn't know how to handle the aggression with Josh.
Yeah.
And then obviously I didn't know what my issues were. That was a problem right there.
He's a mirror of your emotions, though.
Yeah, he really is.
Well, he
Yeah,
Like,
he
literally,
is.
you laugh and his energy just starts laughing like into his food bowl, or...
Yeah, he just mimics everything that you're giving him. He's like a little reflection.
Yeah.
He's your little reflection. Damn.
If he's a pain in the ass,
Not surprised.
All right, guys, so that is it for Monte's in-home consultation, and I would love to hear if you liked how this style of video was done. I actually got quite a few people wanting me to make longer videos, and for you guys to be able to see more of what happens in classes and consults and in-person sort of stuff. So that's kind of where this 3-part video came from with the concept. It came from you guys. So if you guys are enjoying this sort of concept, please let me know and I will do more of it. And if you want to go back to the just everything's condensed down to a one 20-minute video, let me know that, because obviously I want to give you guys what you guys want.
And our goal with showing you something like this is that it's really difficult to be able to give you all the tools and the applications of those tools in only a single course or something that we sell. But you know, throughout the YouTube videos, the beautiful thing is we can give you tons of free content and show you how to use the tools that we've already talked about through our courses and different ways to apply them to set you guys up for success, no matter what challenges you have. I mean, this seems like a very individualized challenge, and yes, we did have to dig deep to come up with some creative ways to win the day with this, but hopefully you enjoy this, and I'm definitely curious to hear if this kind of video is up your alley.
Thanks for watching, guys.
See you next time.